Hi guys, welcome back. I hope you're all doing amazing. In today's video, I am showing you guys a few tips and tricks that I have learnt on how to avoid cake face pretty much. So, you know, we're all guilty of putting a bit too much makeup on and it looking really cakey and yuck, and nobody wants that. Excuse my voice if you can even hear it on camera, I don't even know. I'm really sick at the moment, which is why I did my eyes, because I actually looked like death. And my skin is looking terrible. Like, it is just absolutely, don't even want to go there. But for the sake of this video, it's kind of good because I can show you how to cover up your pimples and all that sort of stuff without making it look really cake. So let's just get straight into it, shall we? First of all, depending on what you prefer, if you prefer a foundation or a BB cream, either way, it's up to you. I prefer for everyday wear a BB cream just because it's it does the job, it covers everything, but it's not as heavy and it's just so much easier for me to apply. But if you do like to apply a foundation, make sure you go for one that is like lightweight or semi-lightweight. This one's about a medium coverage, so I really like this one because you can build it up from being light to a really light layer, or you can build it up and make it a lot more coverage, make the coverage a lot heavier. I don't know, but yeah, some foundations I know are really easy to cake up, so try to avoid heavy foundations as they tend to cake up really easily and you don't really have much control. So for today's video, I am just going to use a BB cream because that is what I personally like better. So with applying, there's sort of 3 ways you can do it. The first way, my favourite way to apply foundation, is a damp beauty sponge. So these are really easy to find. You can get them in a lot of places, many different brands make them. My favourite is the Real Techniques one, just because of the material is different to others. I don't know, it's just really, a lot of the other ones are much harder and firmer, and this one's just so flexible and bendy, and I don't know, I just really like the sponge. And when this is damp, it is really easy to apply foundation. It just makes it nice and not thick. I don't know, it just blends it out really nicely. Second option is, of course, a lot of people like using brushes. The thing I would recommend with brushes, the only reason I don't really lean towards applying my foundation with the brush is because I feel like I can cake it up a lot easier with it. But what I do recommend is just getting like a mineral setting spray or something like that, and just giving it a few sprays just so that it's a little bit, got a bit of mist on it. So it's a little bit wet but not too much, and you'll find that your foundation is a lot easier to blend and won't look as cakey. And the third option is, of course, using your fingers, which is what I like to do with BB cream, just because it's easier and I can really control all the product that I'm using and nothing gets wasted because it doesn't sink into your fingers. So you're basically using everything. So yeah, to start off, I've already exfoliated my face. That is really important to exfoliate your face regularly. I find that if I don't exfoliate my face and I get dry patches of skin or whatever, the foundation will just cling onto those spots, and that's when it starts to look cakey because the foundation is sticking to the dry spots. So make sure you exfoliate. And now I'm just going in with a moisturizer, just my regular everyday moisturizer, because if you want a nice good flawless base, you have to, you know, you have to look after your skin as well. So it's got to be nice and moisturized. Even if you have oily skin, make sure you always moisturize. Don't ever skip that step, because if you don't, your skin will send signals to little pores and be like, we don't have enough moisture, so it's just going to create more oil. Like, I found I used to have really oily skin, and I've been using an oil on my face every night, and it's really toned down the oiliness of it. Who would have thought that like putting oil on oily skin would actually help it be less oily? Who knows? Now my face is moisturised, just gonna wait a bit for it all to sink in. I am going to start off with a primer, Any primer that works for you. I'm going to use the Hourglass Mineral Veil just because I know this one and it works for me. It's really important to use a primer because you want your makeup to last all day and you don't want to be reapplying it during the day or touching it up and stuff like that, because that's when it starts getting cakey. So you want to try to do it all properly at the start to avoid having to touch it up a lot and having to fix up your powder and that sort of stuff, because that's when you're adding more and you're just going into the cake zone. But sometimes you can't avoid, sometimes you just have to, especially when you're oily. But when you're oily, I would recommend getting some blotting sheets. They have been a lifesaver for me so many times. Okay, so now that my primer's on, I love this primer, it makes my skin feel amazing. I'm just gonna let that sit for a bit. Ugh, my hair is so frizzy right now. I just blow dried it. Just had a shower and blow dried it. You know, when you blow dry and it's just a frizzy mess. Well, that is me right now. Okay, so I'm going to use a BB cream today. This one's my favourite, the Maybelline Cream Pure BB Cream, the oily skin one. The other one, the original one, just gets way too oily on me. What I do is I dot a little bit on my face, but it's a little bit too light for me at the moment. So I just grab a little bit of my Garnier one, which I don't like this on its own because it's very, very orange. Like, can you see? Probably can't, but the colour difference, it's really dark. Actually, it might not even look that bad, but in real life it's really dark and orange. I think I put a bit too much on actually. Just ignore that. I'm just gonna go in, actually no, I'm not gonna go in with my fingers. I'm gonna go in with my sponge and I'm just going to rub that into my skin. And remember, to avoid your face looking from cakey, don't use your foundation to cover all your dark circles and redness and acne and stuff like that, because that's when people go wrong. Foundation is just your base, and I feel like people think that their foundation, like so many people, they don't even know what concealer is. Seriously, if you don't know what concealer is, well, if you don't need it, that's okay. But I know a lot of people, they try to cover up everything with foundation, and I know I used to be like that as well. I used to just wear foundation and I used to cover up all my pimples with it, and it just turns into a hot mess because you're putting like 10 layers on your face for a couple of pimples. That is not necessary at all. Okay, so now that I have a nice natural layer of the BB cream on, you can obviously still see my pimples and stuff through that. Which brings me to spot concealing. Let me just tell you guys, I have been actually obsessed with Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer for ages and ages, and I only recently just discovered the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer, I think it's called. They look very similar, don't they? I got the Maybelline one because I heard that it was a dupe for this one, and I was like, well, this one is very expensive, so if I can get a cheaper version that's exactly the same, winner. I absolutely love this, like honestly, go and pick this up. It is so affordable. You can literally get it anywhere. You can get it at the pharmacy, you can get it at Priceline, you can get it at Coles, Woolies, Chemist Warehouse, anywhere. And of all them places, it'll always be on sale somewhere, so you can always pick it up on sale, and it is just so cheap. And what I have found with this is I will start spot concealing, and maybe a bit under my eyes as well because I'm looking a bit dead right now. Yo. And what I'm going to do is sit for a bit with the concealer on. Don't rub it in straight away, because I find sometimes when you start blending it out straight away, you're just blending it out and it doesn't cover anything. Like, I know I've had that problem with a lot of times. But while I'm doing this, I'll do my eyebrows or something and just wait, but since that's already all done, I'm just going to blend out under my eyes. Oh, how annoying. I don't know how people do their eyes first. Some people just do their eyes first. I'm like, I can't do that. Unless I'm doing like a really dramatic smoky eye, of course. So give this a go and see if it works for you, because it's been working really, really well for me. Just let your concealer sit on your pimples for a bit, do something else. Like go fill in your eyebrows or do your mascara or whatever else you want to do. And then, I don't know if it's been long enough. I'll just do it anyway. Then just go in and start really gently, just dabbing onto those areas. Like, can you see that's completely covered up? And this concealer's not that heavy or anything, it's just because I've left it there and it's set a little bit, so it's gone much heavier and it's covered much better than when you blend it out straight away. Ugh, my nose is so runny. So funny. That just rhymed. Nah, these ones on my forehead are actually giving me the shits. Not literally, but they're shooting me. I can still see them. Anyway, I'm just gonna leave it there. I don't really care right now. Once that is all covered, you want to set that in place so it's not sliding off all day and then you have to fix it up. So you've got two options. You can either, if you want a little bit more coverage, you can set it with a pressed powder. You can set it with a coloured powder or a translucent powder. Press, loose, whatever you wish. So I'm going to use my loose powder because it's translucent and I don't want to add any more colour to my face. I'm just going to set my under eyes with a smaller brush first. Then I'm going to grab a big fluffy brush and try not to put too much product at all. Because the more powder you put on your face, the cakeier it looks. So you literally just want to dust the tiniest little bit, just to set it all. Not adding coverage or anything, you just want to set it so it stays in place and doesn't slide around. Be careful with translucent powders because I feel like sometimes they bring out your pimples. Like they bring out the colour, so be really careful. Like I feel like it's bringing out the colour of some of my forehead ones, but that's okay, whatever. The final step, once everything's like down and set, you want to set your face with a makeup finishing spray or something like that. This is really good because it sort of brings back the dewiness in your skin without making it oily or anything, and it really sets down the powders in place so the powders don't look all powdery, if you know what I mean. But I'm going to go do the rest of my face and I'll be right back to put this on. Okay, so I'm back now. I've just put on a bit of blush, bronzer, highlight, all that jazz, and some lippy. And so now I'm going to flip my face with a good spritz of this. Oh, I love this stuff. It makes you feel so fresh. It's amazeballs. That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it or learnt something, or at least learnt one thing. I don't know, this is just what's been working for me to make my skin look nice and flawless yet not cakey, and make it sort of last all day without having to touch it up and, you know, keep adding powder to it, which is what makes it look all cake. So yeah, if you enjoyed it, please give it a big thumbs up for me. Give me a little comment if you would like to. And yeah, I just really hope this helps some of you, and I'm really embarrassed about my pimples, but whatever, we all have pimples, we all suffer. So if you suffer as well, we can relate. Yes, that was really unflattering. So yeah, that's all from me now, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!
You can either set it with a... That didn't just happen. Oh wow, my nose. With my tissue, I swear to God, I put a tissue in as well. Bye.